Okay, so how many times have you guys heard this said? People can believe what they want to believe. They're not hurting anybody by believing that. That's what's wrong with you atheists. You're always trying to dispute and criticize somebody's belief. That's wrong. You guys are wrong. How many times have you heard that? It could have been in various different ways that they've said it, but how many times have you heard that or something similar to that? I hear it quite often. And if you get into conversations like this on a semi-regular basis, you've probably heard it too. And it's probably one of the most hypocritical things that I've ever heard a believer say. Because the very book that they hold in high regard, and this could be the Bible, this could be the Quran, says a whole bunch of negative things about non-believers. It calls us fools. It says that we are worthy of hell, which means eternal punishment and torture. And to top it all off, these are the books you say are inspired by your deity. So evidently, your deity doesn't think the way you think, that people can believe what they want to believe, and that they're not hurting anybody by not believing or believing whatever. He doesn't think that. He has a very strong opinion about that, and it doesn't fall in the favor of non-believers. And the other thing is, I will wager that the same way they're coming onto these threads and into these conversations with that, they never do that in their places of worship. Because their preachers or their imams, they're preaching out of those books. Their sermon is based, at least in part, because we all know how they deviate, but at least in part by those books. And I was a religious person. So you can't tell me that the conversation about non-believers isn't brought up in sermons. Of course it is. Stop playing. Stop acting like it's not. And I will wager you that not once in all of this time has anyone raised their hand in the middle of a sermon and said, wait a minute, Rev. Wait a minute, Imam. People can believe what they want to believe. I will wager and probably win that bet that that's never happened. So apparently that complaint is a conditional one. It only applies to you and to your belief system when it's under scrutiny. And usually during the time where a contradiction is being pointed out in your dogma, you have no answers for it. You don't want to admit that it's a contradiction. So you pull that out of your hat. People can believe what they want to believe. It's so hypocritical that it's ridiculous. And if you're not going to do that to your preacher, if you're not going to do that in the middle of, on Friday at El Juma, and while your imam is doing the khutbah, if you're not going to get up there and you're not going to say that, then don't say that to me, because I don't want to hear it. And I don't view it as valid, because no one is disputing the fact that you can believe what you want to believe. Of course you can. That's not what the issue is. And you know it. But anyway, let me give you guys some information about the album. First, I'd like to thank everybody that purchased the pre-order. It was overwhelming success, and I really appreciate you guys' support. The other thing is, the album releases tomorrow. At least the digital version releases tomorrow. Everybody that purchased the pre-order, I will be sending them via email, so check your emails, download codes for the digital version. And that'll hold you over until I ship out your CDs. Once again, I want to thank everybody for their support. I really appreciate it. And I'll talk to you guys later.